Welcome to the Professional Learning Series brought to you by DECA, Inc. I'm Adrienne Berta, Education Program Specialist, your host for the day. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Today's presentation will be highlighting the Herff Jones Marketing Results Challenge, an exciting opportunity for students to develop a real-world marketing campaign strategy on their campus. Bruce Hartley, Director of Marketing at Herff Jones Yearbooks, will provide a detailed overview of the challenge guidelines, strategies for success, and opportunities in store for teams who participate. Ryan Woodsick, DECA Inc. Director of Learning and Assessment, will also be available at the end of the presentation to answer any questions. Thank you, and I hope you gain new insights from today's presentation.
Well, thank you, Adrienne. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody taking time to join us this afternoon for this webinar. As you can see here on the screen in front of you today, we've got pictures of the winners or the finalists in last year's Herff Jones Marketing Challenge, Results Challenge. It was the very first Marketing Results Challenge from Herff Jones, and we were really excited by the results and what we saw, and extremely impressed by not just the three groups of students you see here, but by everything that we witnessed and learned about DECA in the process. Our winners here, you have three finalists that were able to go to Palm Springs, California to present their presentations. We have Janie Gabrielson and Ryan McCausey from Smithtown East High School in St. John, New York. They were our ultimate winners. Lila Elliott and Aaron Stafford from Lakeview High School in Battle Creek, Michigan. And then Ben Branner, Jack Johnson, and Alex Forbes from South Forsyth High School in Cumming, Georgia. What we want to talk a little bit about today is what the challenge is for this year. And we are looking forward to more great results. This is a team video challenge. And it's the Herff Jones Marketing Results, and it's an opportunity for you to take a look at a product that exists in your school that operates like a real business, and that's your yearbook and your yearbook staff, and work side by side with them to create a real marketing campaign to see if you can move the needle and increase the sales of the yearbook. So the marketing challenge, like I said, is truly real world, because you've got a product there that you're trying to going to be doing a lot of research as part of this challenge to try to figure out what may be holding back sales or preventing some people from buying, what things you can do to improve that. And so we just think it's a real good opportunity for some collaboration between DECA and the yearbook staff, two great groups that exist on campus already. So the team video challenge also has with it, includes a written component. We really would like to have the results of all your research and stuff into a written component. So there's both the written component and the video component to this challenge. And then the three team finalists this year, our national conference is going to be in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. So we'll be choosing three finalist teams and flying them to Ponte Vedra to present to different people in the executive and on our marketing staff here at Herff Jones, and also a number of our sales professionals as well. From there, we will pick winner, and the winner from that contest will get a $5,000 travel prize to help them to cover their costs going to the ICD in Anaheim, California this year. And that will also get recognition on stage at ICD. So here's what we're looking for you to do. First and foremost, we need for you to demonstrate some marketing prowess. And that means you're going to have to take some time to analyze your book sales history. You're going to want to know how many books have sold at different times of the year, how many books have sold in past history. You're going to need to consider some different research questions that you might ask so that you can get to a better understanding of what kinds of things might actually be causing challenges with your books. You may want to see not only the groups of people that have regularly bought the yearbook and what they see as being advantageous there, but who's not buying the yearbook, and can you get to some good questions to understand why they might not be buying a yearbook. Do they just not know it's on sale? Is it just not important to them? Do they not think they're included in it? What are the different things that may be feeding some of that? Then you're going to plan and execute that marketing campaign. And what we found last year was that some groups actually presented just one very large group. They picked one campaign, and it was centered around a certain number of days, and they launched that, and they measured just against that particular campaign to see if they were able to move the needle in yearbook sales. Other groups may target a specific group on campus, and they may have a series of campaigns that run throughout a course of a period of time until the end of the challenge, and then present their findings on that. They target special groups like the sophomore class, or maybe just the freshman class, or some would target just the senior groups or different groups on campus. Then you want to make sure that you can demonstrate growth in actual books bought. That's the ultimate goal here, is to see if we can move that needle, and if the school's been buying 450, can we get that up a little bit? If we know the freshman class typically bought 300 books, can we get that to 325, 350? What percentage can you make that grow by some aggressive and good marketing procedures? Then prepare your written and your video entries, and that's what we need. So how do you do the sales history, first of all? One, you want to confirm the number of books ordered in recent years. Now, you have several places you can go for that. Obviously, your yearbook advisor should be able to help you with that information as far as telling you what they ordered last year. You may also go to your bookkeeper, who will have a good idea of what was ordered. And if your advisor is new and you're struggling there, you might ask a brand new advisor if they can at least introduce you to the yearbook representative, because every school has a yearbook representative that comes in, works with that school, and that representative should have good knowledge of the history of what's been ordered in the past. Additionally, you're going to want to determine the copies sold, and the copies sold and the books ordered are not the same thing, because a lot of times a school may order, say, 500 books, but they only sell 425. So we obviously want to see it helps you out as a school if you sell those 75 books that are sitting there rather than have sitting on the shelf unsold. So how can we impact the growth of and move that needle again just a little bit? So from the number of books sold and your student population, you need to determine what your actual buy rate was for 2016. And if possible, even if you have buy rates for past history, so that you know what was the buy rate in 2015, 2014, so that you can sort of compare and see if there's sort of a trend happening in your school over the last few years. Because part of the analysis we'll want to do is to see what may be impacting that trend. So some of the questions for understanding that is to look at what's happening within your school population and what things are actually affecting that. If you take a look at your school over the last 5 to 10 years, have certain things taken place as far as maybe a school has consolidated, two schools have joined together, or maybe the opposite has happened. Your school has split in two and a new school was built and part of your school population moved there. So if you see like between 2015 and 2016 there was a huge drop in yearbooks sold, it may be in part for that, or it may have changed significantly what you are producing and what the kind of book that's being made. You may also look at things like what's happened in the community. If you've had a huge industry somewhere in the community that feeds your school, where a lot of the parents and work, and that community or industry has suffered some layoffs and has shut down, that obviously may have impacted things economically within your community. So a lot of different factors that you'll want to take a look at as you're trying to see what has affected the sort of change in your population over the last several years. Then how has the process of actually marketing the book changed? Now, by this we mean that if you were to talk to an advisor who's maybe been around a while, there may have been a time when for the most part, books were sold directly in school. Everything was sold in school. You set up tables at the lunchroom. You would set up a table at every football game to sell books. Now, it may be that they are doing more things online, utilizing email campaigns that the different publishing companies like Herff Jones have to offer an option as an option. It may well be that the yearbook staff's not doing as much to actually promote the yearbook, that they're focused more on selling, on printing or getting the book ready for publication, and they're not spending as much time on how do they create excitement within the school about that yearbook. So you want to study those trends and see if you can figure out what's happened, what's changed. Do you even see a lot of stuff in your school that indicates that a yearbook is on sale? Are there posters? Are there things hanging in the walls? Are there announcements? What's going on to let you know that a yearbook is on sale inside your school? And part of your analysis might also be to look at what do people think about the yearbook. I mean, it may well be, does it have a reputation as being kind of exclusive, or mainly it's the yearbook staff and some of their friends, or is it just not covering critical things that are important to the student population? Is it, what is its reputation? Does it feel more like a senior book, therefore some of the underclass aren't really as excited to buy it? What are the things that you know to be true that you can find out and figure out about the yearbook program as it currently is at your school? And then this is a pretty big question, I think. How does the desire to own a book change from grade to grade? We know, for instance, that people come into their freshman year. It's an exciting year, first year of high school. They're excited to be a part of everything. Do you see that very feeling drives a lot of sales in the freshman class? And we know senior year is big because the senior year is your last year in high school. A lot of people, if they're going to ever buy a yearbook, it's going to be that senior year. And then what happens in the junior and freshman and sophomore years? They're sort of caught in the middle. What are some of the big points there that are memorable and key that we want to focus on and make sure are stressed in the yearbook? Or what may be happening overall as far as coverage in the book that might cause people not to be as excited at different grade levels? So what are the different ways you can look at dividing up the course there? And then in what other ways might you segment your market? If you were to take a look at these four, like even the 4 grade groups, how could you personalize your message to each group? It's very possible in this challenge, and we'll sort of touch on it again in a little bit, but that you could have more than, if you have a very large chapter, you could have more than one team from the same school. They wouldn't target the same audience, however, so you might segment your audience some and plan to target different groups. Like one group might just challenge and go after the freshmen, and another group might work on sophomores, juniors, another on the senior class. Or you might divide them in other ways, which is something to keep in mind. That besides grade, you have a lot of different ways that students can be divided in your school campus, from groups, the students that are very involved in athletics to students that are more involved in other kinds of clubs like drama, band, chorus. You might have students who are not involved at all, and a good comparison is what happens to the yearbook purchase rate between students who are very involved and those that aren't involved much at all. What can be done to lift that up, to make sure that everyone feels included and covered in the book. So there are a lot of different ways you can look at dividing your campus group. You might even target certain larger clubs on campus to see what can be done where buy rates may be low there. Then we want your opinion. What could be done to increase the demand for books? When you've done all of your analysis, then what is it that could happen to make that demand go up, to improve how it is seen and what the message is on your campus about yearbook sales? What are those messages that will help a student understand that a yearbook, we believe very much, is something to be valued time and time again. We know that social media and digital print can come and go, but a printed book can last forever. It never will have a battery that will never run out. There will never be a need to replace it with a newer model. It's always there and lasts forever. Then the other group you cannot forget, because we know the parents are the ones that actually fork a lot of the money over for your books, is how do you reach the parents? They're ultimately the ones that will be buying the book. So how do we reach the parents? Where are the parents going to be at? What types of communications and things are already going to parents? Look into things that you may have available to you through your different publishing companies. Like I said, I know Herff Jones, we have a program that helps schools to do direct sends and e-blast and to email parents about offers with the yearbook. And I know other publishers have similar type things. How can you utilize that? You want to pay careful attention to how you reach the parents. And there are lots of places where you'll be surprised that the parents are entering schools regularly. Sometimes it's at sporting events, at different academic and drama and plays and events. It can be at any number of places where you know parents are going to be. How do we reach the parents there? And if anything, as you are developing your plan, should cause that plan to shift, then be prepared to explain that to us. And I'm thinking of some examples like, again, if it could be some unexplained weather event that suddenly delayed something in your plan. It could be any number of school laws or regulations, things like that might happen that would change your plan. But if something would suddenly happen that would change your plans, or you discovered something along the way that made you go to a different route, then explain what that is. Give us some explanation of that. So here's what we need from your video presentation. It's limited to 10 minutes, and you need to post it to YouTube for evaluation. And then we will be collecting all the links from DECA and reviewing them. What we want you to present in that video presentation is the, I can't get it to move to the next slide here. There it goes. The details of your buying pattern. So you need to take all your analysis and you're sort of presenting to us what you found. What are the buying patterns? What was your rationale in the campaign? What types of things did you decide to do? And then obviously what we want to hear is what were the results of that? What did you find out? What happened as the result of it? We're going to be looking at the research and scoring you on the quality of the research and the assessment. We're going to be looking at how creative. We saw some very creative campaigns last year. The percentage of sales increase, and then the overall style. What is the look of the presentation? So be creative in your video presentations, have fun with them, make them entertaining as well as quality of what they're stating. We need to see good research results from it. And for your written component, it's sort of the same thing. We're just asking that it be in complete sentences and that you answer all the questions for analysis and then provide us that sales data history. What was your past number of sold? We need that as that becomes the kind of the measuring point from which we move forward. So we're going to score again on the quality of the research and the creativity and percentage of sales increase. So the eligibility requirements, you can have DECA teams of up to 3, so up to 3 people per team. You can have multiple teams from one chapter. The question here, however, is the chapter, for instance, if you have multiple teams, they cannot be measuring the same results. For instance, we can't have 3 groups all just trying to see if they can increase the number of books sold school-wide, because we have to have some way of knowing that tracking the results back to each individual team. because they'll actually be competing against each other to a certain degree to see if one of your teams can win. So the 3 teams will be, so you have multiple teams from one chapter. In fact, South Forsyth, who was our 3rd place winner last year, had multiple teams from their school. The group that won was the group that had specifically targeted the freshman class. And they were trying to see, they had done all the research, tracked the actual buy rate of the freshmen from the previous year, and then were studying at the different rates, times of months when they would buy, what the buy rate was at each different period of the year, and then they were trying to work to increase within that period of time. You have to, the eligibility to attend the ICDC is determined by your chartered association, so you need to make sure that you're within policy there and that everything, that you are eligible for that. And you need to also, all finalists will have to consult with your chartered association advisor to make sure your eligibility requirements. So, and I believe all of these will be posted by the end of this week is what saying Ryan may have something to say about that a little bit. Now let's talk about some additional resources that are out there for you. We have a site, it's yearbookdiscoveries.com. If you go there under our resource tab, you'll see the DECA Marketing Challenge, and when you select that option, you will go to a site that gives you a lot of additional information. You can download information on a variety of different topics, all related to selling yearbooks. There are 10 different specific sales topics that you'll see there, from how to track to how to get in front of the parents to different tools that may be available to you. So these are great resources, and they are downloadable PDFs. They look a little bit like this. Some, about how to make the plan, how to spread the word, how to make it easy for parents to buy, all different kinds of ideas, suggestions, things that have been tried and true plans. We also have there a thing called Yearbook Academy that you can log into. You'll have to get an access code that we can provide to you, and that will give you an opportunity to see some great videos on yearbook marketing. We have, I think, a total of 7. They're entertaining, great videos, each about 6 minutes long, that you can watch, talking about everything from guerrilla marketing tactics to other great ways to reach the parents and create excitement on campus. So that would be a great resource for you as well. Then you can also look at what is the available merchandising materials that your company offers. If you are a Herff Jones customer, if you work with Herff Jones, we provide a lot of marketing materials automatically. Your yearbook advisor will have some knowledge of that. If yearbook advisor is not sure on all of that, you can contact again, ask to speak maybe to the representative, go to the website. I'll show you here in a little bit some of the things that we have, and I'm sure that other publishers have similar options as well. So most of these are offered at no charge. That varies from company to company, so some things you need to be aware of. If you see something that's a marketing piece, you may want to check to see if there's a cost associated with it. A lot of times companies are more than willing to offer these things, because we like to see more yearbooks sold as well. It is okay to use those materials, so don't feel like you're going to be penalized because you use their materials. You may do a lot of mix and match, or show us some creative ways to use the materials, things that we haven't thought of in the past that would be this kind of things that we look to garner from some of this research as well. And it's perfectly okay to create your own campaign. We saw a lot of that and some great ideas, creating your own school materials, which you are producing, printing, creating, painting, designing, coming up with all kinds of campaigns to get the word out about the yearbooks. Here's a couple of examples that you may see these. In fact, you may have something like this hanging outside your school right now. These are just banners, vertical banners that can hang across a hallway or across an entranceway to the school. Like I said, I drive by schools a lot and see these from various different companies. I always like it more, of course, when I see the Herff Jones banners, but we see all different kinds. So I know they're available from all different places. There are wall posters as well. Usually you can hire that little progress chart, sort of a neat thing that if you're taking on this thing, you may want to get one of the progress charts or create something like this of your own so that you can sort of track the thermometer of progress as you are selling your books and set your goal and see how well you are able to work against that goal. There's stationery and envelopes that you can use. You'll see here the high five here in the yearbook. It's a great tool sometimes that if students haven't yet bought, you find pages that you know they're going to be on in the yearbook, and you list it on a card, and you make sure they get that card that tells them what pages they're actually on. That can also be done by email through some of our send and sell campaigns or similar type things that other publishers may have. The last chance postcard is a great way to get the word out when you're right down to the wire and you're at your last sell opportunity, or if you're just trying to get a good feel for who really is interested. Sometimes the yes please cards are available for some of that. So there's a lot of this kind of stationery available through, like I said, this is what's available to us. There's some things available to every publisher company has similar type tools. Some of my favorite things are the banners, the broad banners, the vertical banners that can stay in the hallways. We're talking about trying to be at places where parents are. You want to make sure if there's a play or an assembly or an open house at the school that you have these, banners like this can be very helpful. The car line is a great place. Don't forget the car line, because that's if you can get the word out there. And what you see here, the now's your chance, buy a yearbook, is a series of yard signs that can stick as parents are driving into the school so that they see that. And then we saw some things last year, very creative campaigns where people were standing in the car line to make sure that the word got out, because you've got a unique opportunity where parent is there with their student and the two can talk and confirm that everyone wants a yearbook. And then there's some customized posters, and sometimes this helps a great deal, where you can actually put pictures of students at your school here with information about, and again, this is what we offer, but other companies have similar types of things that you can look at and utilize for selling yearbooks. So there are a wealth of materials that are available, and then any unlimited amount of things that from your own imagination for creating the word out. So here are the key deadlines that you need to be aware of. The first one is October 13th. Ideally, we'd love to have you fill out an intent form at that point, as that helps us sort of estimate what we'll need as far as the number of judges. It is not the actual requirement, but it certainly is helpful to us. Then December 16th is when applications are due and your videos must be posted. So you're working between now and then to get your sales results, to do your analysis, and to get your video results posted. Then on January 9th, we'll be spending a portion of the holidays viewing all these videos and reading through your analysis and narrowing the list down to our finalists. And our 3 finalists groups will be notified on January 9th. And then February 16th is the date that we're having the meeting in Point Vedra Beach, Florida. And you will actually be coming in, the 3 finalist groups will come in on the 15th, and they will present on the 16th, and the presentation also to some of our sales professionals on the 17th. And we will be making sure you get well fed, and you'll be meeting with a lot of different people and having a great opportunity to show your results and share what you've learned in the process. We're not going to announce the winners while you're there. We will give you a chance all to get home, and on February 20th, the winners will be announced, and then your convention is April 26th to 29th in Anaheim, California. So that is the gist of everything. Are there any questions?